The Medical University of Gdańsk is a modern academic centre, widely acclaimed both nationally and internationally. The university provides world-class education and research. The Medical University of Gdańsk has been acknowledged as the member of an elite group of the best 10 Polish universities awarded in the prestigious Excellence Initiative Research University competition. It holds high position in the annual Perspektywy Educational Foundation ranking. Using the funds provided by the Foundation for Polish Science, as part of the International Research Agendas programme, we established a research and development centre which specialises in exploring acquired genetic aberrations as risk factors for cancer and other diseases. The Faculty of Pharmacy and the Intercollegiate Faculty of Biotechnology, a joint faculty co-hosted by the University of Gdańsk, hold the highest A+ category. Our A category units include the Faculty of Medicine and the Faculty of Health Sciences with the Institute of Maritime and Tropical Medicine. The Medical University of Gdańsk is one of Poland's few universities to be recognized in the academic ranking of world universities, also known as Shanghai ranking, in the clinical medicine category. Our scientists' publications are among the most frequently cited in prestigious journals and help to increase the recognition of Polish science globally. Dedicated and experienced staff and modern infrastructure ensure the highest level of scientific and clinical activity. Clinical teams at the university hospitals are able to conduct both standard and innovative or even unique medical procedures. Our scientists are successful in their research in the fields of, among others, oncology, genetics, testing innovative medication, or using biomaterials which are particularly relevant for developing new, advanced bone implants. They are involved in epidemiological studies, modelling of heart diseases, and paediatric oncology. Some members of our academic community are also the most influential figures in Poland's healthcare system. Their work and achievements are acclaimed and rewarded both at home and abroad. They are laureates of many important awards and hold high positions in national and international medical associations. The Invasive Medicine Centre and the Non-Invasive Medicine Centre of our university hospital jointly constitutes a clinical and research complex, a unique facility on a European scale. The Medical Simulation Centre, equipped with the latest generation Phantoms, operating theatre and virtual reality studio, is where our students improve their practical skills before they start working with patients. The Medical University of Gdańsk runs a number of national and international projects. Transferring knowledge to industry and strengthening cooperation with the socio-economic environment make the university an attractive partner in both research and commercial initiatives. Outstanding scientific staff, major research and infrastructure potential, as well as talented and motivated students all contribute to the current and future successes of the Medical University of Gdańsk. The Medical University of Gdańsk, a world-class university.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to the third virtual open day of the Medical University of Gdańsk. My name is Adam Tuszyński and I work at the MUG's promotion unit. My guest here today is Klaudia Plikta from the admissions office, and we will talk about admission rules for English language programs and educational offer for international students. Klaudia, it's great having you today. So let's say I would like to become an English division student at the Medical University of Gdańsk. What can the university offer me and what criteria must I meet?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so first of all, we offer 2 degree programs, which is the 6-year Doctor of Medicine program, which lasts 12 semesters, and the 3-year Bachelor of Nursing program, which lasts for 6 semesters. Then we have the non-degree program, which is a 1-year pre-medical course that lasts for 2 semesters. And first and foremost, you need to be a high school graduate and you need to hold a high school diploma either it has to be high school diploma issued abroad, an EB diploma, IB diploma, or if you're applying from Poland, it can either be Polish Nowa Matura, which was passed from 2005 and on, and Polish Stara Matura, which was passed before 2005. In this case, you receive a certificate issued by the Okręgowa Komisja Egzaminacyjna.
Okay, now all these programs are conducted fully in English. Now,
yes.
Well, I need, as if I understand correctly, an English certificate, a way of verifying if I actually speak the language. So what are the criteria, requirements? Okay, so
yes, you are correct. The studies are conducted fully in the English language, and regardless of your citizenship, you need to have a certificate that confirms your English skills language at the level minimum of B2. According to the CEFR standard. If your education was conducted entirely in the English language, then you don't need to prove any certificate. However, in case your education was conducted in the English language and this information is not included on your high school diploma, then we need a list from your school confirming that your education was conducted in the English language. Also, candidates from Scandinavia have They are, let's say, this special case.
Yeah.
Because they may apply based on their English grades, and the grades need to be, for Norway, it has to be 4. For Sweden, it needs to be C or VG, and for Denmark, it needs to be the grade 7. The rest of the candidates who do not have any education in English, they need to provide the following certificates that are recognized by the Medical University of Gdańsk. And the list of the certificates is available on our website, and now you can see it on our screen. For example, IELTS with minimum of 6.5 points, certificates such as CEA or proficiency CPE level, or TOEFL. Paper-based test needs to have at least 510 points, internet-based test minimum 87 points, and computer-based test with minimum of 180 points.
Wow, thank you, Claudia. It was very informative.
Yeah.
Now, let us dive deep into the admission steps.
Okay.
What is the first one?
So we have more or less 4 main admission steps. The first step is registration. The second one is qualification. Then we have confirmation and admission to studies. And when we go deeper into that, the first step is registration in our online enrollment system. So you need to enter our website admission2022.mug.edu.pl, and you need to create your account. The first information that is needed is your email address, and you also need to create your own password. Then, when you create your account and you register into our system, you receive a confirmation link that will be delivered to your email. So please make sure you write your email correctly, so that there is no misspelling of your email address. And then after receiving your confirmation link, you simply need to click it to confirm your email address. And pay attention, especially Gmail users, because it usually happens that your confirmation link goes to your spam folder, so make sure to check the spam folder as well. After registration, you can choose your program of study, and you need to fill in the application form. So you need to fill your personal data, make sure that everything is according to your information included in your password. So make sure your name, surname, and date of birth, that everything is correct and according to this document. Then before saving your application form, please check all of your data and information that you included, because after saving your application form, unfortunately, you will not be able to make any necessary changes from that time on. Only the MUG admission officer will have permission to make such changes.
Ladies and gentlemen, double check. That's crucial.
Yeah, double check. Then you need to print and sign the application forms, both in Polish and English language. I spent most of my time now in the database, so it is available, both versions, Polish and English, of the application form in the printouts on your profile. So please make sure to print both versions, sign them, and then upload the scans to the Files tab on your profile, together with the required documents, which are the scan of your passport, your high school diploma with the transcript of grades, and in case it is necessary and required, your language certificate. because such an upload really speeds up the process of the registration and then of the evaluation of your documents. Also, candidates may apply through our admission office and also through one of our agencies. The list of agencies is also available on our website, but you can see that we have at this moment we have some 6 agencies that we cooperate with: Avicena International Group, Education Poland, Medical Poland, Nordisk, Intex Kontor, Oyoma Healthcare and Recruitment Services, and ONH Education.
Thank you. Now, Claudio, let's say I decided to go for the uniform master's degree. So how is the score calculated? What is the maximum amount of points that I can obtain during the qualification process?
Okay, so the basics of the admission process. So candidates who would like to pursue master degree studies offered in English, they can get the maximum of 130 points. During the admission process, 60 points are for the results shown on their high school diploma. Maximum 30 points for each of the 2 courses. Then another 60 points for the written part of the entrance examination in English in 2 subjects, biology and chemistry, both at the advanced level. The last 10 points is for the oral part of the entrance examination that is also conducted in the English language. And important information in order to be classified on the final ranking list, candidate needs to obtain at least 6 out of 10 points from the oral part of the entrance exam.
Okay, so how are these scores exactly calculated? Can we talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, we will now move on to each diploma. So in case of foreign high school diploma, the EB and also the IB diploma, both need to have apostille, which is the shortened type of legalization, or they need to be authenticated by the consul. Then the document needs to be sworn to Polish on English, and then or the translation needs to be confirmed by the Polish consul. It applies to foreign high school diploma. Of course, or all of the foreign diplomas, if this is needed and required in the country of issue of the certificate, they need to be accompanied by proper certificates or additional exams like GCA levels, for example, or CT. And before proceeding to registration, you need to make sure that your diploma is recognized by the Polish law. If it is not, the high school diploma requires recognition by the education superintendent in Poland. You have time to deliver this document until the end of the first semester of study. After analyzing your high school diploma and your documents, the admission committee will move on to calculation of your points, and the way in which they will calculate your points depends on the education system of individual countries, the type of final exams you took, and also on the level at which the subjects were taken. The most popular examples of score calculation are available on our website, admission.mug.edu.pl. There you have the list of countries, and you can click simply on your country and see how your points will be calculated. In case your country is not on our list, the admission committee will convert your points according to the scale or the system that is the most similar. Or if the situation is very unique, the admission committee will ask for the NAVA specialist's opinion.
Okay. Thank you very much. Is there anything more?
Yes, there is more to go. So in case of EB diploma and IB diploma, your grades at the advanced level are expressed from a scale from 1 to 10. So it is converted in such a manner that the result on your high school diploma is divided into 10 and then multiplied by 30, and it gives us the number of recruitment points. In a case of Polish Nowa Matura and Polish Stara Matura, the matriculation results of grades taken at the advanced level will be converted on a 1 to 0.3 scale. So in this case, 1% that you get equals the 0.3 recruitment points.
Now, these were the master studies, but we do offer a bachelor degree as well.
Yes.
Can we dive deeper into that?
Yes, we offer the Bachelor of Nursing program, and candidates may obtain the maximum of 60 points, 50 points from the subjects on their high school diploma, maximum 20 points for biology, which is required, 20 points for one of other additional subject to choose from. They have chemistry, physics, or mathematics, and 10 points for the English language. The last 10 points is, as in the master studies, the oral part of the entrance examination. Yes.
Okay. Now, let's assume that I've chosen my desired program of study, and what happens next? Can we get back to the admission steps?
Yes. So after the evaluation of your documents by the admission committee, if you are eligible to the next steps, you will be invited to take the entrance exam, which consists of two parts. The first part is the written part of the exam, and the second one is the interview part, the oral part. During the written part of the exam, you receive 30 multiple choice questions in biology and 30 multiple choice questions in chemistry. Both subjects are at the advanced level. The interview is individual. It usually takes place after the written part of the entrance exam. It is estimated by our admission committee that the interview part takes about 20 minutes per candidate. Also important information for candidates with IB diploma. They are selected based on their scores from the IB diploma in biology, advanced level, and one selected subject from chemistry, physics, or mathematics, also at the advanced level. And they only need to take the oral part of the entrance exam. Okay. In case they have the subjects that I mentioned before at the ordinary level, they also need to take part in the written part of the entrance exam. More information about our entrance exam, such as interview topics or exam dates, you are very welcome to enter our website, and you will find any information that is interesting to you, so you may dive in deeper to this topic.
Now for the next stage.
Yes, stage 4. So let's say that you did amazing during your written part of the exam, and during the oral part of the exam you got, let's say, I don't know, 9 out of 10. You get the status of conditionally accepted, and then you have some time to provide the documents that you uploaded before to your profile. Now you need to send them in paper version together with your application forms, English and Polish version, to our address, to the admission office address that is visible on the screen. Or if you're applying through one of our recruitment companies, you need to send it to recruitment company or hand it in.
Okay.
Then if everything goes well again, you receive the status of accepted, waiting for payment. So you need to pay the orientation week fee. The deadline for paying is available in the certification of enrollment, which is available on your profile in the printouts. So the same tab where you have your application forms available. And also you need to send to the university admission office the confirmation of your health insurance.
Now, orientation week is obligatory, right? And the fee?
Yes,
as well.
yes. This is like paid once only, and it is 3,000 Polish zlotys.
Okay, thank you. Claudia, some of our listeners may still be undecided what program to choose. Can we talk more in detail about the specific study programs?
Yes, of course. So our top of the top, the best known program is 6-year MD program. As I had mentioned before, it is 12 semesters, 6 years. The required subjects at the advanced level is biology and one subject to choose from: chemistry, physics, or mathematics. The limit of places for the academic year 2022-2023 is 50 places. This is the current offer of the Ministry of Health, and this number is under evaluation. Last year we had 6.3 people per place, and the admission threshold was 88 points out of 130. The tuition fee is different than in the previous year. Now it is 48,000 Polish zlotys per year plus 3,000 Polish zlotys orientation week fee, but the orientation week fee is paid only once.
So not all MUG graduates become doctors, right?
Yes, of course. That is why we have also our 3-year Bachelor of Nursing program, which lasts for 3 years, and you need to have biology, English, and one subject, either chemistry, physics, or mathematics at the advanced level. The limit of places is 30. Last year we had almost 8 people per place. The admission threshold was 36 points out of 60. The tuition fee remains the same as the last year, 23,000 Polish zlotys plus 3,000 Polish zlotys orientation week fee. Also, I need to mention that last year we also had 5.5-year Master of Pharmacy program. For this year we do not have the intake, but the admission for the transfers will be available soon. So please make sure to check that as well. And for this year we also have another program that was launched in cooperation with 3 estimated universities from Europe, from France, Holland, and Belgium. The program is called Sustainable Drug Discovery, and it lasts for 2 years. So next year we will have some students that will come to learn at the MUG, because the second semester of the studies takes place at our university.
Okay.
Okay, and last but not least, we have our non-degree program, 1-year pre-medical course. For this course, you need to have biology and one subject, either chemistry, physics, or mathematics. And also obligatory is confirmation of your English language skills. The number of seats for 2022 is 25. Last year we had 4.5 people per place. The admission threshold was 120 out of 200, and the tuition fee is 33,000 Polish zlotys per year plus 3,000 Polish zlotys for orientation week fee.
Now, the important question: what are the deadlines for admission?
Yes, so you have time to register for the Doctor of Medicine until July 15th, 2022, for Bachelor of Nursing until July 31st. For pre-medical course, it is August 31st. But candidates who apply through one of our agencies, please check with your chosen agency, because the deadline for registration may end earlier. So please make sure that you check with your chosen agency.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. If you have any more questions, you are welcome to visit our website, mug.edu.pl. Also, you are welcome to contact with the admission office. You can either email us or call us. We don't bite. Yeah, and you are more than welcome to contact us.
Thank you, Claudia. This concludes our interview, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I believe that the admission process will hold no secrets for any of you who are listening to us right now. So I believe we will see you soon at the Medical University of Gdańsk. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now take a short break and we will get back to you at 10:30 a.m. Stay with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us again on this very special day. I'm joined here today with the employees of the university's Department of Internationalization, and we will talk about what can the university offer to international students in terms of mobility, administrative help, and if you graduate, the alumni programs that we can offer you. I'm joined here today with Marzena Kołtoniak, the Welcome Point Coordinator at our university, Karolina Derda, from the National Relations Unit. She takes and coordinates the Erasmus programs and mobility at the university, and Jacek Kaczmarek, the International Alumni Relations Officer. Now, Marzena, we will start with your job and the unique unit you coordinate. And what is the Welcome Point? What can you tell us about the specifics of the unit and what can it offer to international students?
Welcome Point is a very unique place when the students can find different types of support during their stay in Gdańsk. So basically, everything what's not connected with their studies, any problems, they can try to come and find a solution. Basically, we're helping with all kinds of legalization of stay of our students. We also support them when they need their health insurance, or if they need to change their international driver's license to Polish license. Basically, everything what gives them problems here and they don't know how to solve them, even if I cannot help them in person, I will try to find a place or a person who will be able to help them with solving those problems.
Now, these are not all the activities that you undertake. There are many initiatives that go further, such as the Christmas initiative, right?
Of course, because Welcome Point, it's not only about legal matters, it's also the integration of the students, because we have students from so many different cultures. We want to integrate them, not only with the Polish society, Polish students, but also among themselves. So we are trying to create different types of events. Some of them are showing a variety of cultures among our students. So we are showing different types of countries, places that they are coming from. Students can share their traditions among each other. Also, we are arranging morning coffees. So it's a time every month we are meeting in Welcome Point, and we are talking about important issues that the students are interested in their students' life. So last time we met the doctoral students. This month we are going to talk about different circles, scientific circles, which we have a lot at the university, and students not always are aware of that. So we are finding interesting topics, and we are inviting students for coffee and some cake, and we're just discussing about the things which are important for them and they're interested in. But also we want to share our Polish culture with our students. So, for example, during Christmas, we're organizing an event when we are asking Polish like Gdańsk citizens, the students of University of Gdańsk, to invite those who are in that time here in Gdańsk to their homes. So about 25 Polish families this year invited students all over the world to their houses, to their homes, to share the experience of the Christmas.
Wow, now this is really unique and great. Marzena, let's talk about the numbers. The Welcome Point was established in July 2019, if I'm correct. Now, can you tell us how many people did it assist so far? Do you have the specifics?
Basically, we have around 1,000 international students at our university. Of course, not all of them needs my assistance, but around 500 students already went through the whole process of legalization of stay. So it's quite a lot. And some of them needs other assistance. So 500 through those 2 years, it's really a lot.
Marzena, thank you. Now, the unit is, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, not only unique, but essential to the needs of international students. Thank you, Marzena. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Karolina, let's move on to you now, because the university offers a variety of mobility programs, such as the Erasmus Plus program, for example. Now, is the mobility available for every student?
Hi.
Hi, hello.
Erasmus is an exchange program which was founded by European Commission, and it gives students opportunity to gain education, to obtain education abroad, and also to experience real life in a foreign country. And yes, it's open for every student of MAC. Of course, we have faculties rules, and student must follow these rules. But generally, yes, it's open for every student. Every student of university can go for part of their studies to our partner universities. We have over 50 bilateral agreements, and students can spend 1 semester or full year abroad, and they can also go for a traineeship, which is more open because they can go to any institution in the European Union. They can spend there minimum 2 months, and we have also new option starting from this year. It's a short-term traineeship, and it can last from 2 till 30 days. So, and this option is really open for everyone, so I would like to warmly welcome everyone.
That's great. Thank you so much. Karolina, what are the most frequent destinations that students choose? Now, is it hard to pursue education in a foreign country?
Okay, for our students, the most popular destination are Spain and Italy, which is obvious for Polish students because due to the weather and the culture, which is completely different than ours. But we can't forget that also Germany, France, and for example, Czech Republic are also very often chosen by our students. And about the program and how they manage abroad, it's quite, let's say, easy, because before we sign bilateral agreement with foreign university, there is a rule that we must compare the curriculum of subjects. So there must be, minimum 70% of subjects of the program must be comparable. So if students go abroad, he usually completes the program, and of course it's quite flexible because he can change the program during his stay abroad. And our dean's offices and our faculty coordinators also support them during all their stay there. So they are not alone during this time.
Okay, that's great. So, you talked about the Polish student traveling abroad. Now, what about the international students that actually come here as a part of the Erasmus program? Now, how many students are they? From which countries do they travel from? And from your experience, how do they find studying and living in Poland?
I must say that it is very happy news, but Medical University of Gdańsk is a very popular place and of destination for Erasmus incoming students. And what can be surprising, we are very popular among students from Spain and Italy.
Wow.
So it's both ways. And I think that, as far as I know, students feel very good, especially here in Gdańsk, because we are a very open place and very friendly. We are a very international university, so they feel here very good. And our university is also concerned and as a university with very good, with high quality of teaching. So also our Erasmus students, most of them join English division in medicine. So everything is taught fully in English. So it's very easy for them. And also, we cooperate with students' organization, IFMSA, which support us, and every student which who comes to Poland, we offer them mentor program, and every student has his own guide, which this person welcome him here in Poland and guide him or her during all of the students' stay here in Poland.
Okay. Thank you. Carolina, now, if I remember correctly, the contemporary Erasmus program is entering the so-called Erasmus without paper phase. Now, what exactly is this phase, if we can dive deeper into that, and what does it mean for the mobility of the students?
So every university which participate in Erasmus program will be obliged, starting this year, to exchange every document which related to mobility online, so in electronic version. It's a part of so-called Erasmus Without Paper initiative. And what is important for students, it's the fact that they will have to complete documents, especially the main document, so-called learning agreements for studies, on the special designed website. It's called online learning agreement, so not very difficult to remember.
Logical.
Yes, quite logical. And they must just log in to this website and complete the same document as the paper version, but online version. They must sign this document, and this document will be directly sent by the system to both institutions, sending institution and receiving institution. It will be in the future, I hope, it will make it much easier to exchange these documents. In the future, there is also Erasmus app application. Nowadays, it contains mainly information about Erasmus program, but in the near future, there is a plan to also integrate this app with online learning agreement. So in the future, students will have all documents in their mobile. So I think it will be much, much easier for all students.
Mobility going mobile.
Yes,
so to speak.
Like this. Yes.
Okay, Karina, thank you so much. Jacek, moving on to you and all the issues relating to the alumni programs. Now, currently there are more than 1,000 international students studying at the university from 65 countries, if I remember correctly. Now, hopefully they will all successfully graduate and become the MUG alumni, and they hopefully will promote the MUG worldwide. Now, how do we keep the relations with the graduates, the alumni, healthy? How does that happen? How do you establish and nurture these relationships?
Hello, Adam. Hello, everyone. Since you started with some numbers, I would like to say that the number of our alumni from the English division alone is already more than 1,100 since the beginning of the English division in 2002. But of course, this number of alumni does not reflect the total number of MUG alumni around the world. There have been people graduating from our university from any of the faculties and leaving for various reasons, leaving Poland, going to all the continents. And this population of MAG alumni is therefore very heterogeneous, I would say.
Okay.
These are Polish alumni who left for any country. These are international alumni who studied in Polish before we started English division. And of course, there is a growing number of alumni from the English division, not only medicine, but also pharmacy and nursing. We started the alumni relations activity only slightly more than 3 years ago. This is not a very easy process, since of course the alumni are disseminated around the continents, and it's easier with ED alumni, where we have the contact emails or their Facebook or LinkedIn profiles. We also gather information about our alumni from the colleagues who work at the university, and they have some friends abroad. So it's mainly me trying to invite someone on LinkedIn, on Facebook, or through email, and asking them to join the community of active MAG alumni who keep relations and cooperate with our university. And also to ask them to spread the information and invite others.
Yeah, obviously.
Of course, there is a different level of sentimentality among the alumni. We have some alumni who graduated in the 60s. And the first person who responded to the announcement on Facebook that we have started building alumni relations with the international alumni was a doctor from Poland who migrated to Sweden and then to Australia. There is a fantastic, very heterogeneous and very rich educationally and by experience, very rich community which can contribute to development of our university. And we would like to keep them involved in the life of our academic community. There was a very important project which helped us start and develop the relations better and quicker, and this was Hand in Hand into the Future.
Yeah.
A project we operated for 2 years, and this was a project under the International Alumni Program operated by the NAVA, National Agency for Academic Exchange. And in that program, we had 8 webinars where our alumni, mostly medical doctors, shared their knowledge and experience on a given medical topic with current students and sometimes even non-students. Some of the webinars were open to a wider public. And we had 3 mentoring sessions where our graduates shared their experience of studying at our university, postgraduate education, going through the certification process, for example, in the United States. We also had our alumni joining our inauguration ceremony online 2 years ago.
Yeah, we did.
Sharing some best wishes with the community of our university. We try to keep them involved, and after the project, which finished in March 21, I started to cooperate with the Gdańsk division of the International Federation of Medical Students Associations, IFMSA, and we are going on with Meet Your Specialty series, where we invite graduates of our university, medical doctors, who are different specialists. We had a psychiatrist in May last year. We have just had a plastic surgeon from the UK in March, and in the end of April we will have another graduate, a dermatologist from Sweden. This is to help students gain some experience or some knowledge about how it is to be an and here you can put a name of a specialty before they make the choice. So there are various things going on, and we also asked our graduates about their satisfaction with studies at the MUG during the project. There was International Alumni Satisfaction Questionnaire, so valuable information on their account of studying at the MUG was acquired.
Wow, now thank you, Jacek, that was most informative indeed. Now, this is the present, and how does the future look like? Are there any plans for the international alumni relations that we'd like to distinguish or take a deeper note of?
Yes, definitely. There is an idea, and I think we will start it after summer vacation with next year, because of course planning, when you invite people from medical professions, healthcare professions to cooperate, you have to give them quite much time in advance. This is an idea of organizing International Alumni Lecture Week. So imagine a week per semester where the international alumni of a given specialty give lectures, one alumni a day, on a given topic from within their specialty. So you could call it endocrinology week or cardiology week or something like that. Not to overload one day with several lectures, and of course also to enable the current students and other interested people to participate in the late afternoon or evening hours after they are done with their classes. Another thing is ask the alumni idea, and it's technically to be decided whether to be based on our international alumni website or otherwise, but a platform for current students to ask any question to any of the alumni, or if they like to get an answer from alumni of a given ethnic or other origin, it's okay. And this would be a place where the alumni could answer this question, and a kind of, I wouldn't like to use the word database, but a current place of knowledge exchange would be created. So this is it, and we also would like to facilitate the contacts between current students and the alumni who have something in common. So like recently we had a meeting during the Indian Day, and we know that there is South Asian Student Society created. And there is the idea of linking the current South Asian students from our university with the alumni who originate from the same group to share their experience.
Various dynamics going on,
yes,
right?
Yes.
That's great. Jacek, all I can say is good luck with all the plans. Now, this concludes the this part of our meeting. Now, if you have any questions to any of our guests, they will be more than welcome to answer them via mail. The respective addresses can be found online. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank my guests for their time.
Thank you.
And for your time as well. Thank you for being here with us. We will now take a short break, and we will come back to you in just a moment. Thank you so much. Please stay with us. Thank you.
When this position was offered to me, I was working as a visiting researcher in Sweden, and I saw the project is perfect, and the supervisors are well known in the whole Europe. So in the first step, I chose it based on that. But when I came here, my priorities changed in this case. I'm from Iran, and Iranian people are known as hospitable and kind people. And I can tell, and I really mean it, Polish people are exactly the same. I had no, let's say, culture shock. People are friendly, and the atmosphere, I mean, in a scientific point of view, is really great. And also Gdańsk is always spectacular, it's breathtaking nature. Hevelianom Hill, the old town, is really beautiful. In the international research agenda, the groups are generally divided in two parts. The wet lab people do the wet lab and they produce the data in the best way, and the bioinformaticians work on the data and analyze the data. So I'm a bioinformatician. We are working now on Alzheimer's disease. We received many post-mortem brain samples from Harvard University. So because, as I said, we have great supervisors here who are well known in the whole Europe, we could be connected to big and well-known universities in the whole world. Professor Jan Tomansky, who has a position in Uppsala University, is a professor in Uppsala. And also he is a supervisor here, or Professor Arek Piotrowski, and also Dr. Jakub Mieczkowski. So these are the supervisors here who guide us. So we're trying to understand the biology behind Alzheimer more. The cause of Alzheimer is amyloid plaques, and we are trying to understand which genes could be correlated with this amyloids. You need several slices of the brain or any tissue that you are studying. There's a question, how many slices do you need? What is the minimum? So here we try to define the number of brain slices that we need to study, and it was not done before. So the novelty of our work is first the technique, and second is the subject that we are working on. We use spatial transcriptomics, which to my knowledge we are between the first three groups in whole Poland that we are working on this technique. We do not dissociate the tissue, and we study the intact tissue as it is. So we vectorize the tissue, and by this we preserve the spatial information, so we do not destroy the cell composition. My duty during the past year was to develop the methods to make working on this specific techniques more handy and more easier. So mostly it was from a technical point of view to produce something which is not limited to my lifetime. So when someday I die, so the thing that I produce will remain and they will be there. I can help human being in a way. So not just me, but exactly this is the beauty of this career, because this is teamwork. So each one of us, step by step, move forward, and it may lead to a significant achievement.
Back in 2015, I was applying for medical schools, and unexpectedly I came across the Medical University of Gdańsk. I looked it up on the internet, and we found great reviews. We spoke to some people who were already studying here, and within 3 months I was here in Poland, although I'd never imagined that I would come to Poland and study medicine. And now, 7 years later, I could not think of a better place to come and have this medical journey and this experience. It's a brilliant city, especially for a student, because it has its quiet places where you can focus and spend time on your education, but it also has places for where you can go and relax. My favorite place in Gdańsk is Gardowa Mountain. It's quite close to where I live, and it has a very nice panoramic view of the entire city. And I enjoy it especially because it's a good place to go and reflect on what's been happening and where I am in life and how things are progressing.
Agastya started working in the students' scientific circle, and then because he was so engaged and he was so dedicated, we started cooperating individually, and this is how it developed into a great success that Agastya achieved.
So currently I'm a first-year doctoral student with the first doctoral school at MUG, and my research project is based on finding or working on an ultrasonography method to diagnose vocal fold paralysis that can happen after thyroid surgeries. So right now the best way to do it is through the laryngoscopy, where you put a camera through your mouth and look at the vocal folds. But with USG it's less invasive for the patient, so the compliance could be better, we would assume. So my project is to look at how accurate is this test in comparison to laryngoscopy. Then I also train medical students and a few residents in how to do this test and see how much experience, how many examinations they would have to do to get good at it, essentially.
So Agastya is now working on a translaryngeal ultrasonography that is an interface between surgery, endocrinology and radiology. And this is a technique that needs popularization, and I believe that Agastya, after working on it for several, I would say, months, now is an expert in the field.
In research, this technique has been spoken about for about 7 or 10 years now, but it hasn't been applied clinically so far. So if we show that it's an easy technique to learn and we describe how to learn this technique, we hope to advocate its use in clinical practice, advocate its implementation in the training of surgical residents or radiologists, so that this technique can be popularized and be used worldwide, and in the hopes that it reduces patient burden in going through laryngoscopy. So my supervisor is Professor Jarosław Kobiela, who is a consultant surgeon here at the Department of General Surgery. I've been working with him for a few years now. His role with me is to guide me through the questions and through the difficulties that I might have, and to have a discussion about things, about how we can go forward, and also to help me get the resources that I would need to conduct my research.
We were always working at an interface of clinical and basic sciences disciplines, and I think this is what we are doing. We're connecting dots that clinicians need to have connected.
My name is Margot Biesemans and I am from Belgium. I studied at the Vrije Universiteit Brussels, and I could do an Erasmus project to come to the Medical University of Gdańsk, and I wrote my master thesis here under the supervision of Professor Markuszewski. And this is actually how I discovered the Medical University of Gdańsk, and I came back to do a PhD study. I decided to come back to this department specifically because my colleagues were so friendly during Erasmus, and I really liked the atmosphere here. People are really supportive, and there is a lot of expertise in this department, so I wanted to come back. After my Erasmus ended early during the pandemic, I was a bit sad, and the people from my department decided to give me a goodie bag, and they gave me this mug, and I have been cherishing it since I got it from them. So this is a really nice reminder mayor of City of Gdańsk and Medical University of Gdańsk. I can't maybe speak for all Polish people, but I would say that all the people that I've met here in Gdańsk are really open-minded. They are so friendly and they are willing to get to know you. They are curious about your background. I really like Vaideloty Street. It's the street where I live. I have my apartment there. And I like the street because there is not a lot of car traffic. It's really pedestrian friendly, and there are a lot of nice restaurants to eat there. You can have an ice cream, have a walk. It's really close to Wrzeszcz PKP train station, and it's also really close to my job, so it's a win on every area. My mentor is Dr. Renata Wawrzyniak, and I also have two promoters, Professor Bartoszewski and Professor Markuszewski. And I would say that from all of them I receive immense support. Dr. Wawrzyniak supports me in giving me advice in the lab. She tells me her opinion on my ideas, which is really helpful for me. And actually it goes the same way for both of my promoters. They give their opinions on lab procedures, what might go wrong with them, how to interpret the results of the study. I am working on several projects. The first project that I was working on and still am working on started during my Erasmus exchange. I am working on a project of Dr. Wawrzyniak. She is researching the influence of proteinase K for sample pretreatment of plasma samples for idiopathic pulmonary arterial hypertension. And so during this project we are researching the metabolomic fingerprint of the plasma samples of these patients, and we are evaluating if the application of proteinase K has an influence and how it influences the metabolic fingerprint. For my PhD project I am working on also a sample pretreatment procedure for the omic sciences. And I would like to find a procedure or a standardized procedure to isolate the cell compartments. Because right now there is still a problem in the field that there is no standardized procedure. It's really difficult to standardize the results over several labs. I would recommend studying at the Medical University of Gdańsk because you get a really personal guidance here.
My best memories from my childhood are the summer vacation with my parents near the Baltic Sea, and when I was 10 I promised myself to live in the city that is located near the sea. So that's why this is Gdańsk. One of the form of relaxing for me is to go for a long walk, to take away a coffee and to feel the spirit of this city. My story goes back to 2008 when I met for the first time my first mentor, Dr. Agnieszka Woźniak. At the time she was an assistant professor in the Department of Biology and Medical Genetics here at our university, and she was also a lecturer of a molecular genetics course during my studies. I studied laboratory medicine, and I remember that after this course, after this exam, she offered me to join her a research team. Immediately I said yes, because I noticed that that's a huge opportunity to me. After that, after my studies, I did the PhD studies under the supervision of Professor Limon. Thanks to them, both of them, I am here where I am. I have two backgrounds, because I'm a researcher, but I'm also a diagnostician. And this project, LEADER project, this is the project that allowed me to combine these two backgrounds. The aim of my project is to implement custom design next generation sequencing technique for molecular analysis of patients with a clinical suspicion of NF1 or related phacomatosis. Neurofibromatosis type 1 is one of the most common genetic disorders, and the pathogenesis of this disorder is related to the pathogenic variants in the gene, which is also called NF1 gene. This is a very large gene, and today even more than 3,000 different pathogenic variants are described in this gene. It's very difficult and challenging to find this particular variant that is present in the patient. There is a type of variants that is called splicing variants and also deep intronic variants that are located very deeply in introns. We need to remember that these patients, these individuals, they have a higher risk of develop tumors. So that's the reason why these patients, they should have as soon as possible the diagnosis made.
The uniqueness of Magda's project is related to the fact that one of the etiologic factors of neurofibromatosis in general is somatic mosaicism, and this aspect of research requires further attention and may lead to development of diagnostic tools in this challenging area of analysis.
It's important also to mention that the genetic disorders they do not affect only a single patient, but also the whole families. They require the genetic counseling, the genetic management, and this is also very important, to receive this test, the result of this genetic test, to give these patients, to give their families the detailed genetic counseling. I had the great opportunity to spend 3 years in the reference center at the University of Alabama in Birmingham in the United States. I joined Professor Ludwine Messiaen's lab. She's a worldwide leader in the NF1 field. She's also present in this project as my mentor.
I could closely observe Magda's scientific development since she became PhD student. Further, I acted a little bit like her mentor, and now I'm just proud that I can collaborate with her as my research partner.
I always shared a passion for natural sciences and for programming, and after high school I chose for the topic of my studies more of a computer science background. I even worked some part-time after studies as an IT professional, but I felt that there was something missing in those regular 9-to-5 jobs. I remember that one day I read about some appliances of artificial intelligence in medical area, and I felt that this is exactly something for me, and that's exactly what I want to do for the rest of my life. Turns out that this type of work is exactly happening here, even in my city, in Gdańsk.
It all started with Maxim emailing me and saying that he lacks experience, but he would really like to join us. So we couldn't offer him a senior position, but we could offer him the position of the intern and wait for him to defend his thesis so that he could later on become the PhD student. And that's exactly what happened.
I'm working on a project which aims to develop a new method for early cancer detection.
We are working with liquid biopsies, with sequencing data that generate massive amounts of information that later on needs to be processed. So this is where Maxim comes in.
And we feed that data to artificial intelligence, let's say. It's a deep learning, deep neural network, stuff like this. It aims to choose to classify patients that are either healthy or they have cancer, but also which type of cancer they might have.
He also tries to add a layer of interpretability to the data so that we know better which features determine how the cancer is going to progress.
There were approaches or methods like this before, but they were usually more invasive or less accurate, because they were based on usually on a regular biopsy, which we just take the sample from tissue sample from the patients, so it's kind of invasive. We have already accuracies above 90%, so yeah, that's pretty good. In the project there are many people from different areas. We have biostatisticians, bioinformaticians, molecular biologists. Anya makes sure that everyone just got their support, and she coordinates everyone's work.
What I am trying to provide for PhD students, for master students, for bachelor students, and for interns is the mentoring environment. So all the younger members that join our teams are exposed to the older ones who are willing to share their expertise.
One of the many things that I like in Gdańsk is that whenever you go for a walk, it's usually some kind of pretty architecture, a lot of places that you could go for a hike. We have pretty close ice skating rink, so whenever I'm bored or just tired of sitting by the computer, I can go for a little skate.
I find it really fascinating to do something that nobody has ever done before. Every day is different. So one day you do experiment, the other day you do some microscopy, one day you have to write something. So there is always something new happening, and you have to really work on progress and self-development and acquire new skills. I love this city because you feel like you're on holidays basically every day. You're surrounded by nature, so from one side you have the seaside, the beautiful beaches, and on the other side you have the forests and lakes also around. And I also love the architecture, and there are a lot of places where you can spend your free time. We meet in this place because I like to come here after work to just relax or have a coffee with my friends. So I started with doing a PhD in clinical oncology of urological cancers. That was something like very clinical, and then after PhD I decided to do my postdoc more on something like basic science, so understanding the molecular processes in single cells. I chose the lab of Paolo Maiuri in Milan, and then I decided to combine these two different experience. I found this position at the Institute of Translational Oncology that is guided by Professor Anna Żaczek. My research focuses on identifying the group of patients that is in a highly risk of developing metastasis, and which we know, like, the majority of cancer patients, they die because of metastasis. They don't die because of the primary tumor. They die because the disease has disseminated all over the body. So by using like different tools, so this molecular biology, high quality imaging, quantitative pathology, I'm trying to understand which patients are at risk of developing this more aggressive disease, and they can develop metastasis in the future. Everybody assesses like the tumor as a whole or some single cells, but I would like to go like more in deep and see if there are like some architectural features of cancer cells that could, for example, help us to tell, okay, this population is more aggressive, these cells can metastasize, and these cells can form metastasis in the future, and we need to like treat this patient more or monitor him more than other patients. So that's the idea. On the one hand, it could help to find new so-called biomarkers to find the patients that are in the danger of developing metastasis, and on the other hand, by knowing that there are some molecular components that are aberrant in these more aggressive tumors, we could find some potential therapy targets for cancer patients, so that could help to find new treatments in the future.
Choosing my university, I take various things in account. First of all, at that time, the Medical University of Gdańsk was one of the leading universities in Poland in medical science, also with very good scientific quality of the research and some well-known scientists. Also, it has to be taken in consider that the city of Gdańsk is very beautiful. Currently, we are in Park Oliwski, which is one of my favorite outdoor places in Gdańsk, mainly because beautiful nature we can experience here. It's a very good place to just take a walk or relax. I always wanted to be a scientist. I believe the main interesting thing in doing science is that you can ask questions and find the answer by yourselves. And in my branch of science, you also deal with problems that are involving humans, so you can hopefully one day increase somebody's quality of life. The scientific idea is to find a better cure for inflammatory bowel diseases. In Europe, roughly 2.4 million people suffer from this disease, and unfortunately this type of diseases severely decrease one quality of life. So we intend to create better treatment by combining the nanoparticles with anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties with well-known drugs which have anti-inflammatory properties. People are treated by classical anti-inflammatory medication or some biological treatment. However, it has to be noted that those treatments cannot completely treat the disease but only alleviate the symptoms. And unfortunately, those types of treatment have a lot of side effects based on the type of drug you choose. We hope that combination of nanoparticles and drug will allow us to use the small doses of the drug, which will in the future allow to alleviate side effects, so the treatment will be better for the patients, and From the scientific point of view, the synergistic effect of the drug and nanoparticles will be firstly described by our team. And moreover, typically nanoparticles as drug carriers are studied in the cancer, so there is not much research in other diseases which are equally important. Currently we are in the Department of Pharmaceutical Pathophysiology in the Medical University of Gdańsk, where I and all of the team of Professor Iwona Inkielewicz-Stępniak do everyday lab work. It's what I like the most about science, that you work with a bunch of people who are experts in their field of science. Obviously there is Professor Inkielewicz-Stępniak, who is supervisor of the project. We have a great team of chemists from University of Warsaw, which we collaborate with. Also, we work closely with our microbiologists and scientists from University of Gdańsk in order to assure the best quality of research, as well as we conduct our research in animal quarters of Medical University of Gdańsk, where in final stages of the project we will evaluate all the findings in vivo model.
Since I was a child, I remember that I've always wanted not only to observe the world and be a passive participant, but I also wanted to actively change the world and understand it. When I found out that I was admitted to Medical University of Gdańsk, I still had some other options, but I knew that Medical University of Gdańsk is one of the best medical universities in Poland, and also I was really interested in Gdańsk as a city, because when I first visited it, I could feel everywhere the atmosphere of the city of freedom. And the shipyard is a symbol of system transformations in Poland, a place where the past meets the future. For me, it's also a place where I meet with my friends. We are dealing with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's a rare disease affecting boys and resulting in not only loss of mobility, because that's a major problem, but also in cardiomyopathy. It's a cause of up to 30% of deaths in this population. Professor Kwiatkowska and Dr. Meyer-Szary came up with the idea of the study with metoprolol. We know that tachycardia is a common problem in this group of patients, and beta-blocker drugs are used in this problem. So their idea was, and still is, to assess the safety of metoprolol and its efficacy in preventing cardiomyopathy. And preventing cardiomyopathy will mean not only better well-being of the patients, but also will reduce deaths that are caused by heart failure. We believe that we will be able to gather a big enough group of patients to successfully run the study, and gathering such a group of patients and using metoprolol that was not investigated in that context earlier makes the study special.
Well, the cooperation started a few years ago. Magda was a student, and she came to our team as a young doctor She would like to improve her knowledge, her scientific work, and we tried to involve her in our small team.
First, I was given small tasks just to better understand the science and the scientific world, and then gradually I got more responsibilities. I'm happy to say that I am part of this research team, and I cannot wait to see the results of our study. I also really enjoy working with my mentors, so Professor Kwiatkowska and Dr. Meyer-Szary, because they not only show me how to deal with the patients, how to design a study, but also encourage me and help me deal with different obstacles that I meet.
I hope that my students and Magda, following my mentoring, will become independent scientists in future.
Hi, thank you for joining us after a short break. Now, I'm joined here by two very special guests, Aditi, a first-year student at the Medical University of Gdańsk, and Sylvia, who is about to finish our esteemed university and is on the 6th year of her medical studies. Now, we will talk about what it is like to be a student at the Medical University of Gdańsk. Aditi, back to you. Now, what was the main motivation behind choosing the Medical University of Gdańsk? What encouraged you to travel all this way to Gdańsk?
So when I was initially starting my search of medical universities and where I wanted to go, I was really passionate about some place that had a good research center, a good student body, and some place that was generally close to where I live. I live in Sweden. So when I was researching, I found Medical University of Gdańsk, and it was recommended to me by my teachers, friends that I have back in Sweden who have been studying here, and it just seemed like a good university and a place to just learn and grow. And the research possibilities here really interested me. So that was a big factor in why I chose to come here. Okay, thank you. Sylvia, what about you? Because your journey is longer and motivations may differ, in fact. What's your story?
I graduated a few years back, and I was actually really afraid to study medicine in English, because English is not my native language. So when I first got to know about dance, I was like, medicine? Like, so complicated in English? And I tried in my home country, tried to in my native language. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. After a year, I was like, either you wait or you just try. You still want to study medicine, so just do it. Try it in English. And so I did try. My mom one time was coming home and was like, you can study medicine in Gdańsk. I was like, okay, good. I'll try it, and here I am.
Okay, so thank you, Mom. Thank you so much. Now, guys, you both probably have different experiences with the university. So I would like to dive deeper into that. Aditi, how do you find the beginning of your journey? What's your the best thing about your best experience about the university? How do you find the place?
Well, the first year is always challenging. It's a lot of new information. It's a lot that's being thrown at you and a lot to absorb and live with. So the best thing that I would say is I've had very supportive seniors. I've had very supportive teachers who have been there to help me and guide me through all my questions and my issues, and I felt very welcome at this university, and I think that's a great deal of what makes studying medicine here so enjoyable, because you don't feel like you're alone.
That's indeed an important factor, right? To be welcomed and to be helped with adapting, right, to the very different living conditions and studying conditions.
Definitely.
Right? Yeah. Sylvia, what about you? Because you're finishing up, so your experience spectrum is, I believe, much different. How did you find studying here at the university? What were the best parts, the best experiences that you had?
Now in 6th year, I look at the years I made. Like many people will tell you, first year is difficult. I'm thinking that maybe the subject itself is not so difficult, but not knowing what to do. You were coming here with a new language, finding new friends, and having no idea what to do, no idea where is CBM, what is CMI, what is CMN. So, but with time it gets easier. You have your friends, you have the knowledge, you get to know people from different years, and they will help you. It's amazing. You will just like, hi, we just had classes once, can you tell me what to study? Like, what is the best way? Should I do the book, or should I focus on the presentations? And when you go on, it's getting easier because you have the support system around you. You already have your friends. The family knows what is happening, so they're just like, oh, what happened? Why is it so different from school for you? And you have your place to stay. You know where everything is. So at 3rd, 4th year, this is the time where you simply know everything. You're not just like a first-year student who has no idea where to go, but you have everybody around you who is supporting you, and you're supporting the others, and it's amazing. I met amazing friends here, and I hope, even though when I graduate and go back to my country, that we will stay in contact and that we will see each other. And
yes, so the community is important. The academia is supportive here. Yeah, that's what I got from your experiences. That's amazing to hear. Now listen, would you recommend the MUG to people who are still trying to figure out whether to study medicine or any medical profession, and why?
I would definitely recommend this university. I think I've really found my place here. And if you're aspiring to be a doctor or study in the medical field, I think MUG is definitely a good place to start. As I mentioned, you find a community here. The teachers are supportive, and it just feels like you're working towards something, and if you don't feel hopeless or left behind. So I definitely would say that if you're interested, please do apply.
Sylvia, what about you? Would you recommend the university further as almost a graduate?
Yes, but I want to tell the future students that they have to be aware university is different than school, and they have to know it because you have to learn, but at one point it will just get easier, and at some point you will be like, oh my god, are you like, it doesn't seem like GUMED anymore. So, and it's worth studying for, and sometimes also the bad grades, but at some point it will be all worth it. And this is important.
Great, thank you guys. Now, the last question that I would like to ask you is, it's pretty personal. What are your future plans? What are you hoping to achieve? Are there any significant goals you're after?
Well, I'm a first-year student, so very early for me to answer this. But I've always aspired to be a practicing doctor, and that's what I look forward to doing after my 6 years here and with some further training. Not to jinx it or anything, but I've always considered pediatrics as a very interesting profession or interesting specialty. So hopefully, if all things work out, that's some place I'd like to be in the future.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Sylvia, now what about you? Because you mentioned that you wish to return to Germany, or are you staying in Poland?
The plan is to go back to Germany. I hope I will be a good doctor, that my future patients will be happy with me. And I would like to become a neurologist.
Oh, that's great.
I like nerves, even though the first year was a little bit more difficult. But it's amazing how it works, how simple, like the brain just makes everything in your body.
It's like the CPU of the whole
our
body,
computer.
right?
It's you can't do anything without a brain, and I hope I will achieve my goal. Doesn't matter how long it takes. I just hope that the future people will tell, like, oh, I had this doctor in the hospital or at home. I recommend her to you.
She was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
That's the goal.
That's why these studies last so long. They are sometimes not easy, and they're not supposed to be, because your aim, your goal is to become good practitioners, good doctors, and serve your
people's lives are at your hands. It's not supposed to be something to be taken
lightly.
Easily,
right?
yeah, lightly.
Yeah. So this is pretty serious, but it's, as you said, rewarding, right? Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Sylvia, Aditi, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you for sharing your stories and experiences.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Guys, we are waiting for you at the Medical University of Gdańsk, and if you have any questions, just let us know, write us an email, and we're here for you. Thank you guys so much, and we will be back shortly. Stay with us. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to the Medical University of Gdańsk in Poland, the most internationalized university in the whole northern region. My name is Dawid Spychała, and today I'm going to be your guide and take you for a tour through our facilities. I'm going to show you where you will learn, where you will have your classrooms, but also you have a chance to meet with our authorities, with the staff. Please, come along and enjoy with me today's trip.
My name is Tomasz Smiatacz. I'm Vice Rector for Students Affairs, and I'd like to welcome you warmly to our Medical University of Gdańsk. We are not the oldest medical university in Poland. We are not the largest one, but it happens that we are the best medical university in our country and one of the best universities in general. Gdańsk is a good place to study medicine, so please be invited. Welcome you warmly.
The closeness of the university and the hospital favors mutual cooperation and joint scientific research combined with projects implementation. Students acquire knowledge in a comfortable lecture halls and modern simulation laboratories. Medical University of Gdańsk is a founding body of 4 healthcare entities: University Clinical Center, Institute of Maritime and Tropical Medicine, Family Medicine Center, and University Dental Center.
Hello everyone, my name is Sławomir Wójcik and I am the head of the admission office Medical University of Gdańsk. Each year during the matriculation ceremony, almost 200 students from all over the world is going to start the journey at the Medical University of Gdańsk. At our 4 faculties, students are attending courses fully taught in English. 6-year medical program, 5.5-year Master of Pharmacy program, and 3-year Bachelor of Nursing program. Among our students, we have also participants of non-degree 1-year pre-medical program.
A functional and spacious study area is at the user's disposal. It contains the latest literature and up-to-date magazines. Those who are willing can test their theoretical knowledge on phantoms, which is especially useful when the anatomy exam is just around the corner. It's a unique place where you can learn to speak and read in different languages: English, German, French, Spanish, and of course, Polish. You can also hear people speaking medical Latin. It is where, during these special national days, one can also learn many fascinating facts about different parts of the world and try regional dishes.
In our department, we deal with oral surgery procedure, such as teeth extraction and implantology. Senior students have classes in our department. We are about to start building a new dental center to further improve the quality of services provided. We are willing to cooperate with foreign institutions, so foreign students and teaching staff are kindly welcome.
Just nearby Collegium Biomedicum Institute and the library, you've got the student dormitories. The proximity of most didactic and clinical buildings allows students to arrive for classes on time. Nearby you may find the Sport Center, the most modern sport facility. It is not only a place for active leisure, but an integration space for both students and employees. The Medical Simulation Center is one of the most unique medical training facilities on a global scale. That is a simulation of a true hospital, with all that students need to see, touch, and examine. The classes are based on students' active participation in clinical scenarios, with the use of advanced patient simulators, intelligent phantoms, and opportunity to perform a simulated surgery. It's an excellent way of acquiring knowledge, allowing one to be better prepared for the challenges the physicians face every day.
I love the Welcome Point. It has literally made my life easier because the first year when I was here and I needed to get my temporary residence card, I had to stand in long queues. But then the second year onwards, we had Welcome Point and Miss Marjana, and she arranged all of the appointments, and even sometimes she would get our process sped up.
You have to remember that the Welcome Point is there for all students, especially international students, because once you come into this country, you don't really know. You're here with a student visa, but you have to get a temporary residence permit. And Marjana has been she's been an angel sent to us.
And yes, definitely, they do help with other procedures, because I have a lot of other procedures that I need to do separately, like within the embassy and stuff, and she definitely facilitates that.
I chose this university because I have a friend that studied here, and he recommended this school to me. He told me all about the university, and I got really positively surprised when I started here, and there was nationalities from all over the world. I remember the first day I met someone from Canada, someone from Saudi Arabia, someone from Sweden, and I just I don't know how, but I just felt at home at first day, and it was really nice.
I really like studying here because I got to meet such different people from different countries, and they've all come together for one goal, which is to become doctors. So it's really nice to see everyone hang out and discuss why and how.
I like studying here because sometimes we can just go to the library and study in groups, and it's kind of good to study at library.
One of the major positive points about this university as well is that the departments are quite lenient. Speaking from my perspective as a transfer student, it is very helpful that the departments are just letting us choose when we're able to make up the classes and all that stuff.
What surprised me was like how fast you got adjusted to the whole living situation here in Gdańsk. I remember the first day I felt like a headless chicken, but then I realized all of us are headless chickens, so we just fit in together. We just found each other like, okay, let's do this together. And I remember like I called my parents a couple of weeks after and I said, I feel at home already here. It was just a beautiful experience.
I agree with that, actually. We were in the same class, and it was so surprising that we were so good friends in so short time. It was really good.
They are starting to try to make an effort to help us engage more with the Polish students. I know that, for example, this summer, I don't know how it is for the other years, but for us in the fourth year, we are paired up. If we choose to do our internships in Poland over the summer, we are paired up with one other student from Polish division. So they will kind of be our, let's say, our buddy for the entire summer. And they will we will tag along, and you know, it's super awesome for us to finally have someone who's on our level who speaks both Polish and English.
The Medical University of Gdańsk is the only medical university in Poland officially holding the status of a research university. The university is an academic center with high research and development potential, modern infrastructure, constantly improved clinical and teaching facilities, along with long-time cooperation with esteemed international partners is what drives our competitiveness forward. But we are not only in Gdańsk. We are in the three cities, and that is Gdańsk, Sopot and Gdynia. The University Center of Maritime and Tropical Medicine is a unique profile institute. Students have an opportunity to learn, practice, and perform a clinical and research activity. For example, in the fields of tropical, travel, and marine medicine, together with underwater and hyperbaric medicine, and lastly, marine rescue. The institute aspires to establish a European Center for Epidemiological Response, which would ensure the safety of the eastern regions of the European Union.
When I went there, I saw such pretty buildings and all that Gothic buildings in Prague, but when I came here, I saw a mixture of both in Old Town, which was nice to see. And it's nice because you have Old Town and then you have Forum, which is a lovely mall. It's amazing for weekends.
Yeah, like if you have nothing to do, if all else fails, you can just walk around the city and look up. It's really beautiful. You have all these statues on top of the buildings, and you have this church behind us. It's really beautiful here.
This is actually the largest brick church in the world, I've heard.
Is it?
It's also really nice. Gdańsk has 22 kilometers of beaches, and they are super, super great.
Po polsku.
It's very difficult.
Like I know 5 languages, but it was really hard to learn.
She's just
Polish,
flexing now.
yeah.
But, yeah.
No, but it's true. It's really hard. I think the grammatics are hard, and I think just the pronunciation is hard.
But it should be mentioned that we learn a lot of medical Polish. At least for, there are a lot of new Norwegian students here. And there are also a lot of Polish people in Norway. So I've already myself experienced, and I have friends who have experienced, that when you go back home to Norway to work, you actually get to use some of the Polish you learn here.
This has definitely become my home.
Like, I feel it. When I come back to Gdańsk, I feel like I'm home again.
I am from India and I go back home only once a year. So most of the year I'm here. I have spent more time here rather than at being home. So I think we are
temporary residents, like our visa.
Yeah.
We're temporary residents.
Yep.
Some stay for life. Yeah, I hope.
Of course, yes.
No,
you definitely make friends for life here.
Yeah, personally, I found the best people in my life here. I found my best friend.
Thank you.
No, honestly, I found a family. I found my best friend.
She's pointing at her, by the way.
I hope you've enjoyed our tour, and I will see you soon here in Gdańsk.
Hi, and welcome again. The guided tour which you've just watched actually concluded this year's Open Day at the Medical University of Gdańsk. We want to thank you for being with us today during this special and unique event. Remember to mark your calendars for the admission deadlines, and we hope to see you soon at the Medical University of Gdańsk. It was a pleasure for us. Thank you. Have a good day. Goodbye.